Hi, and I'm excited to welcome you to this week's message. If you apply this week's message and take it to heart, I believe it has the power to transform your life and those around you. I heard this message years ago from Dr. Victor Newman, and it's been with me ever since. In this week's parasha, we find Moshe Rabbeinu's disagreement with Korach. And Moshe Rabbeinu wants to prove his point, that he's correct. And he presents the following idea. If something will happen so world-altering that the ground splits open, and not anybody falls in, but specifically the 250 people associated with Korach falling to the ground, that would prove a no-brainer that Moshe emes v'seirasa emes. It makes so much sense. But what happens is fascinating. The ground does open up, and 250 people fall into the ground, and it's amazing. But what winds up happening is, it doesn't have that effect on Klal Yisrael. Not just they're not impressed, they actually get frustrated and more angry at Moshe Rabbeinu, and they complain, Loma misa nasam Hashem. They're totally not moved by it. However, interestingly enough, later on in the parsha, Moshe Rabbeinu puts the sticks in the oil moed, and the Aaron stick sprouts almonds. And Klal Yisrael is so impressed, and Moshe emes v'seirasa emes, and the message goes across. How do we understand it? Such an amazing life-altering event, they get upset. And such a small event, they're totally impressed. So Dr. Newman said as follows. Being the emergency room doctor that he was at that time in Maimonides Hospital, when they bring somebody in who's hanging in there for his dear life, pretty much to push him to the edge of death is very simple. Any medicine in the medicine chest, given in a drop too much of a dose, has the ability to kill him. Any mistake, any miscalculation has the ability to kill the person. So that's not a very difficult thing to achieve. Nevertheless, if somebody comes in, hanging in there, and the doctors have the ability and achieve the goal of getting a pulse back and making the person swing into life, it's an enormous achievement, and there's a round of applause in the emergency room, an enormous amount of excitement, and it gets really acknowledged. So he explained it as follows. Killing somebody, using negativity to hurt somebody, is no big deal. Anybody can do it. But to pump life into somebody, that's an achievement. Similarly, in this week's Pasha, for Moshe Rabbeinu to kill people, Klal Yisrael was not impressed. Yeah, you used a very fancy way to do it, but killing people using negativity is not something that impresses anybody. However, later on in the Parsha, when Moshe Rabbeinu facilitated that life should be created, almonds came out of a stick, positive energy, life energy, that was something that Klal Yisrael was totally impressed with. Taking this message into our lives. Negativity, using negativity towards ourselves in our own mind, using negativity towards our children or our loved ones, never have an effect. It's no big deal to hurt somebody. It's no big deal to be negative to somebody. It's very easy. Just open any paper. Listen to most of the information that goes on around us. It's negative. It's all around. And it doesn't take a lot of power, strength, courage to sell negativity. On the other hand, positive energy, building up somebody, talking to ourselves in our mind positively, talking to our loved ones positively, talking to our friends positively, that's power. Putting life into somebody, that requires, and that takes courage, and that makes a difference. Let's use the power available to us of positivity and energy and build the people around us. We're going to transform the world around us, transform our lives, and forge ahead to the great life that we deserve. And it'll manifest in our lives in the quickest way possible. That's my message for this week, and I look forward to seeing you on another message next week.